kissed it. Oh my gosh. Holy cow!
What is up, disc golfers? Today on Iceberg TV, I'll be using a full lineup of discs from XL Discs. This is a brand that's actually been in business since the 1970s. And in my mind, they're basically the Lone Star discs of Europe. They've been around since the 1970s. They've done electronic detonators, ski poles, carbon fiber products. They make like paddleball rackets, all kinds of stuff. We've got the Nila, Duohi, Corpi, Kilo, Puro, Kanto, Havu. And yeah, that's the lineup that we'll be using today. They also sent me a couple hats and this disc golf bag. And I know I have Berg's Disc Sports, but I still thought it'd be cool to at least give the bag a fair try. I don't want to be unfair. So we're going to test out the bag and all the discs, and then we'll give you guys my final thoughts as to, is XL a brand you should try out, or is it something you should try and avoid? All right, I think this is the perfect hole for the Duohi. Nope. Yup. That was so lucky. Big fade. Skip. That's going to be absolutely parked. That was a terrible shot, though. This Kelo also feels very similar to my Loft Discs Xenon. It even has this exact same sort of little ridgy on top, which any disc that has this little ridge on top that's like a stable 9-speed is just ridiculously overstable. That might go in. This 2-0 is good, torque resistant, flat. Good disc. Very straight. So as far as the plastic goes, it obviously feels like very premium plastic. They put a lot of time and effort into actually figuring out what works for golf discs. The plastic feels very premium, very high quality. And anytime I get anything from a European company, this is always the case. I'm not sure where exactly they source their plastic from or how they're sourcing such good plastic. But at the end of the day, things being sourced within Europe or around Europe just always seem to be really, really well made. And fade right into the... That's perfect too. It's so straight, but then has a good fade. That might ace. I think I hit the cage. I know I actually haven't thrown many Lone Star discs, but I have been paying attention to who they're sponsoring, what kind of discs are they coming out with. And I really do think XL could follow that very similar path and just be, the European Lone Star. They've got the business connections. They've been around for so long. I have to imagine that there's a lot of assets that they can bring into the sport of disc golf. Some of these molds are really well done as well, as far as a company goes with their first run of discs. These are pretty solid professional level discs. A lot of times when a brand new company comes out with their first discs, they're absolute trash. And I would say that these are very far from being absolute trash. They're actually quite good. And I'll probably put one or two of them in my main bag and continue testing it. I think this is the perfect hole for the 2-0 flex. It's got a nice stable finish to it. Oh, I kicked right under the basket. Swing. The back nine at Reedy, the holes are a little bit longer. So I feel like it's a good opportunity to kind of show you guys how the distance driver, this Corpi, and the fairway drivers fly. I get to throw the putters a lot in the front nine. Normally I like to just play the front nine here, but on the back nine, we'll be able to showcase the fairway drivers and the distance driver a little bit better. That was the first one. That was the second one over there. Basket's right here. I'd say that's a job well done. All right, we're gonna do a quick bag review. I'm not sure the name of the model of this bag, and I also don't know how much it costs, but the things that I do like about it, it's fairly lightweight. They put some time into figuring out like a comfortable padding situation, so the padding is pretty nice. It's lightweight, obviously, just because it's a small bag. But the best thing I think is the paneling. I think the way that they do the paneling looks really nice. And I think it's just a nice, good, like rustic colorway. And the pockets are probably a little bit too small for my liking. Same with the water bottle holder. I like to have a big water bottle. This thing has like a very tiny water bottle holder. The storage pocket on the front is nice. I have my wallet in there right now. Fits in there no problem. Anyway, decent little bag. It's no Iceberg V4, but it's pretty solid. So on Iceberg TV, I definitely take pride in trying to stay up to date, not only with the news, but also with the new companies, the new disc drops. I've reviewed, tons of companies within a few days of their first PDGA disc being approved. NSH custom discs, 3D printed discs, I got in with them super early. I've seen so many cool prototypes through the years, and I can say in comparison to most prototypes, these XL discs are top quality. I just think they need a little bit of help when creating new molds. As it currently stands, I would say the discs are probably better for an advanced player versus a beginner player. But I think that Havu is a disc that could go in everybody's bag. And same with the Kilo, the overstable 9-speed-ish feeling disc. I think that's another one that could pretty much go into everybody's bag. Skip. I know that most of my discs, unless I'm getting a collector's item, I'm getting for free. But even when I wasn't getting discs for free, I did like buying discs from new brands and trying out new brands. I was just wondering, like, do you guys tend to stick to one brand, or do you like trying all the new things that are coming out? Obviously, everybody has different levels of disposable income to just spend on discs. But I know I always erred on the side of like, I like to try new things because maybe if I find that one special disc, it'll be something that'll help me get the edge over my competition. But I was curious, what do you guys think? Do you like sticking to one brand and limiting yourself, or do you like just trying a little bit of everything? I think this Puro fits a very important slot that is very often ignored. I think for a hole like this, a lot of people, it swings from right to left and goes downhill, but you don't want a disc that's going to dump because you're going to come up way short. But you want something stable enough to where you can trust it to stay right to left. I think the Puro is a very good distance type hyzer disc for when you want the stability, but you want something that's actually going to go. So like the Kilo, I could hit the line with it if that's all I was concerned about, but I would come up way short. But with a disc like this, I'm going to be able to put it on a line where I actually put myself in a chance to get, close birdie look. So something like that, like I know I'm going to get way down there. We'll throw the Kilo so you guys can see the difference. And it's just dumping. And it may get a good skip, but it's going to be way short. So the first disc on the right here is the Kilo. This is what you're going to get when you throw that dumpy option on a hole like this. But that's my Puro just right here. And that's going to put me inside the circle for an actual birdie look. So that's the difference between you can get a similar line, but the amount of glide a disc has definitely matters. And that dome and that glide is going to get you a lot closer on a hole like this, or more distance on your hyzer shots. All right, guys, that is going to be 18 holes with the XL lineup. I'm going to give you my quick overview of the discs that I like, the ones that I'm not a huge fan of. I think the Nila prototype putter, I think as an approach disc, it has a lot of potential, but I think they should reconsider making this angle a little steeper and try to get it to fly more like a Prodigy A2. Something more similar to that would be a lot more useful as an approach disc, but I think it's too stable to use as a putting putter, so it's kind of not one or the other. It falls somewhere in the middle. Not a huge fan. The Havu, definitely a winner. It flies like a slightly faster, slightly more stable glitch. Feels very comfortable in the hand. Extremely fun to throw. This is one that's going to go into my bag, especially when I go out and do ace runs. This is a disc that I really want to throw an ace with. The harder you throw it, the straighter it goes, but it never really fully turns over. So if you struggle to throw a glitch and you want something a little more torque resistant, a little more stable, a little faster, the Havu is definitely a winner. For the other discs, we'll go with the 2-0-He. I really enjoy throwing the 2-0-He. It flies very similar to my Birdie Disc Golf Supply Ultra. It's nice and flat, super comfortable in the hand, but a little bit more low profile than the Ultra. Feels very comfortable in the hand and has a little bit more dump at the end, but I'd say in the early flight, flies a little straighter. So you can throw it really hard and it'll go straight for a little bit, but then have a nice reliable dump at the end. The Kanto, I feel like could be a really great disc, but I just don't love these large diameter mid-ranges. It's very fun to throw, but I have a hard time gripping and controlling larger diameter mid-ranges. So I think if they reduce the diameter overall, I think they have something that's going to fly very similar to like a Rock 3. I think this could be a winner, but I think if they could just make it a little bit smaller, make it feel a little more comfortable in the hand, I think the Kanto could be a winner. And we'll go over the last one that I don't like, and then we'll go over my two favorites up here. The Corpy, way too overstable to be your first distance driver. This is a good disc for those of you who just have to release on Anheuser and every one of your throws is like this or like this. You will probably really like this because it's just going to flex right out immediately. Ridiculously overstable, ridiculously fast and skippy. This doesn't fit the distance driver slot for me. This fits like overstable utility disc slot for me, but super fast. And then the last two discs we have here are the Puro and the Kilo. These are definitely the best two. The Kilo being super overstable 9-speed, probably more overstable than a Firebird. Really, really dumpy, very, very useful out on the course. And then the Puro, very domey, very glidey, but still stable fairway driver. Really fun to throw. These are probably my two favorite, right alongside this the Havu. I think they've got 3 winners here, and then the rest of them are like almost good, but not quite there. A couple tweaks here and there. I think they could have a really nice pro level lineup here, but the Havu, the Puro, and the Kilo are definitely going to be winners for me from XL Discs. I appreciate them sending me out the discs to use in today's video. I'll put their website link in the description below. You guys are watching Iceberg TV. Thank you so much for watching my videos, and take care.